The head of emergency services at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Ahiable, has advised gym owners to install at least one defibrillator in their facilities. Demonstrating how the machine works, the emergency specialist called for the express view, or called for gyms to actually have these defibrillators to save lives.
This is Dr. Ahiable. Dr. Ahiable is the head of emergency medicine here at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, more popularly known as Ridge Hospital. Dr. Ahiable is going to explain to us how the defibrillator works. Over to you, Doc.
Thank you very much. The defibrillator is a device or a machine we use to resuscitate patients or to revive patients who have cardiac arrest or heart attack, in short. We have two types of defibrillators. We have the AED, that is automated external defibrillator, and the manual defibrillator. The automated external defibrillator, as we commonly call AED, is used outside the hospital by the paramedics and other areas. And the manual one is usually what we use in the hospitals.
So tell us, how exactly does a defibrillator help to resuscitate someone who has had a heart attack?
The defibrillator is a very important device we use in basic life support. For that matter, in reviving somebody who needs first aid in terms of cardiac arrest or heart attack. It helps, work on the heart to revive the heart, which stops working when somebody has cardiac arrest or heart attack. It serves as a pump. In this case, like electrical pump, to pump the heart to work when the heart is either lazy or is sleeping or stops working.
So for example, if somebody is in the gym and suddenly collapses because of heart complications or heart attack, how would a defibrillator work to save that person's life? Can you demonstrate for us?
Yeah. The defibrillator, like I said earlier on, the automated external defibrillator is the ones we use at the gyms, at the shopping malls, at the airports, outside the hospital. The way it works is that there's electrical wave which goes through the heart, like I said earlier on. When somebody's heart stops working, we have, during BLS, basic life support or first aid, the defibrillator is the first device we need. When we call for help, for somebody to come and help you, the helper goes to the defibrillator. He then attaches it to the heart. For example, this manual defibrillator is the manual defibrillator we use in the hospital. When somebody comes with cardiac arrest or heart attack, we start with 120 joule. That's the minimum energy we can start with. Then we have two parts. This part is placed on the apex, that's the heart, where the heart is the left side of the chest. And this one is placed, the sternum, is placed on the shoulder, that's the right side of the chest. We apply a gel on the chest of the patient. Then there's a prompt here. You charge first the defibrillator. Then when the rhythm is shockable rhythm, you have two types of rhythms which are shockable. They are called ventricular tachycardia, pulseless ventricular tachycardia, or ventricular fibrillation, VF. We call it VF. When the defibrillator analyzes the rhythm and realizes that it's a shockable rhythm, it gives you the prompt to shock the patient. So that's why the defibrillator is very important, because if the defibrillator is not applied to the chest of the patient, you wouldn't know whether the victim needs to be shocked or not. If it's a shockable rhythm, the defibrillator will tell you that this patient needs to be shocked. And majority or significant number of people who go into cardiac arrest or shock, or collapse majority of them suffer as a result of cardiac arrest. So that, for that matter, the defibrillator is a very important device to revive them immediately.
So you were explaining to us how it actually works on the human body. So why don't you talk us through it? And once you apply these paddles to the heart and the sternum, you press the button and it sends an electric shock through the human body. What does that shock do, and how does that revive a person with a heart attack?
Like I said, the name heart attack or cardiac arrest, medically we call it cardiac arrest. The heart stops working once one sustains that injury or that effect. So the heart is lazy or stops, or it beats but slowly, weakening. So the electrical shock, just like a pump, will just resurrect or revive or resuscitate or weaken the heart up so that the blood can flow through the heart, pump the blood through the heart and goes through the vessels in the body.
When a person suffers cardiac arrest, how long can they go without this sort of first aid resuscitation before they pass away?
Yes, studies have shown that by 5 minutes, if the right thing is not done, if CPR, effective quality CPR, as cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and the AED is not applied, by 5 minutes time, there will be irreversible damage to the heart. For that matter, the brain, and the patient may lose or get complications, even if the patient survives.
So we've all heard of the circumstances under which the former vice president passed away. There are some who believe that if there had been a defibrillator on site and somebody trained to use it, it would have made a difference. So how do you respond to that view?
Yes, like I said earlier on, it's very pathetic, and we are all sad for the loss of just a gentle soul and a very dignified person in society. Unfortunately, we don't have these devices in all our recreational centers, such as the gym, the airports, and other important places, even the churches. We need them to be in the offices, in schools. We need this very important device to be there. Because once somebody collapses or somebody has cardiac arrest, the first thing we do is the cardiopulmonary.
Well, so hopefully we'll be able to get this device in most gyms to save lives.